Hey everybody, it's Craig with Smartphone, and we got a great face-off for us today. Another one. This time up, HTC Rezound up against Samsung Galaxy S2. Before I get this kicked off, I want to thank the good folks over at Best Buy Mobile for setting me up with the HTC Rezound. If you need a new smartphone, make sure you stop by and pick one up from Best Buy Mobile. All right, let's kick this off. HTC Rezound weighs in at 170.1 grams, definitely the heavier of the two. Sports a 4.3-inch LCD display, and here's the kicker: resolution 720 by 1280, first HD display to hit the States, and I have to tell you, in person, it's absolutely amazing. Upper right-hand corner, you've got a front-facing 2-megapixel camera for video calls. Below the display, 4 touch-sensitive keys. Typical Android, they are in red. Highlights, though: home key, main menu key, back key, and search key. On the back, 8-megapixel camera. Again, you've got the nice little red accent around the lens. Dual LED flash autofocus. Video capture, 1080p at 30 frames per second. Also shoots 720p at 60 frames per second. Battery underneath the battery case, 1620 milliamp hour battery, only rated at 6 hours and 24 minutes of talk time. Up on top, 3.5mm headphone jack along with the power and lock key. On the right-hand side is the volume rocker. On the bottom is a microphone. And on the left-hand side is the micro USB port along with another microphone. And the phone speaker is right here above the Beats Audio logo on the back. All right, up against the perennial favorite for the most part, Samsung's Galaxy S2. This is the Euro version. This is my personal phone. I haven't, it's got ADW launcher on it. Sorry I didn't change it. I don't think it makes much difference. Anyway, it weighs in 116 grams, definitely the lighter of the two. Also sports a 4.3-inch display, but this is a Super AMOLED Plus capacitive display. Resolution of 480 by 800. Also has a front-facing 2-megapixel camera, upper left-hand corner for video calls. Below the display, you've got 3 keys, 2 touch-sensitive keys, main menu key, back key, and 1 physical home key. On the back, again, is an 8-megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, video capture, 1080p at 30 frames per second. Battery, 1650 milliamp hour battery rated at 8 hours and 40 minutes of talk time. Up on top, 3.5mm headphone jack along with a microphone. On the right-hand side is the power and lock key. On the bottom, micro USB port along with the other microphone. On the left-hand side is the volume rocker. All right, let's talk processors. On the Rezound, you've got a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor from Qualcomm Snapdragon 3. And on the Galaxy S2, you have Samsung's Exynos 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor. As far as internal storage, HTC Rezound comes with 16 gigabytes of internal storage. I believe it also has a 16 gigabyte micro SD card pre-installed, and obviously you can bump up internal storage an additional 32 gigabytes with the use of a micro SD card. A Galaxy S2 comes in either 2 flavors, 16 or 32 gigabytes of internal storage, and then you can bump up internal storage an additional 32 gigabytes through the use of a micro SD card. Both handsets offer 1 gigabyte of RAM. The HTC Rezound offers Wi-Fi 802.11a, G, and N. Also support for DLNA. Galaxy S2 the same, 802.11a, B, G, and N support for DLNA, as well as HDMI out through a micro USB adapter. Both offer Bluetooth version 3.0 support for A2DP. Galaxy S2 also offers support for high-speed data transfer. Both have GPS with support for AGPS. Both can be used as Wi-Fi hotspots. Both run Android 2.3.4 Gingerbread. HTC Rezound runs on Sense 3.5. And the Galaxy S2 runs on Samsung's TouchWiz 4.0. As you can see, I've got the Quadrant Center benchmark test downloaded on both. Let's kick this off. First time I've run it today, so it's probably going to be a little lower than you're expecting, but it'll give us an accurate representation as far as benchmark tests for both handsets. Again, you can see frame rates, frames per second. I got a little different angle today, kind of hard to read, lower left-hand corner. Thought this might be better for the display, not sure. Give me some feedback on that. Alright, the Rezound is done, and the result, 2229. So our quadrant benchmark score, and on the Galaxy S2, 3127. So as far as a winner for our Quadrant Center benchmark test, it is the Galaxy S2. All right, next up, let's do our YouTube comparison. I've got the lights turned on because I really want you to get a look at the quality of the screen on the Rezound. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm getting it both set to default HQ. Galaxy S2 is the first to spool it up.
We could do it, you know. Take off, live in the woods.
It would catch us.
Maybe not.
We wouldn't make it 5 miles.
All right, your mama's so fat. All right, and we'll try Breaking Bad on both, and we're off. Okay, the Galaxy S2 seems to be a little quicker in booting and spooling up. Or maybe it's going to make a liar out of me now. Nope. All right, next up, let's do a little navigating. Navigate to pavilions.
Head southwest on St. Croix Export North Bayport Way.
That is the HTC Rezound. Grabbed it quick. And here comes the...
Turn right onto Bayport Way. Head south on St. Croix Export toward Bayport Way.
I have a speech text on the Rezound sent to fast. And so I could tell which one it was right away. Let's get the satellite view. Take a look at Galaxy S2. So both of them had absolutely no problem grabbing the GPS. The Rezound was extremely quick. Double tap to zoom in. Let's zoom in over something as opposed to dirt. There we go. Double tap to zoom in. Pinch to zoom to move, zoom out. Redraw us fairly quickly. That's the Galaxy S2. Take a look at the Rezound. Not as smooth when scrolling about as you can see in satellite view. Takes a little longer for it to rewrap. Double tap to zoom in. Come on. There we go. Pinch to zoom out. Definitely a little bit longer to but both of them did a great job of providing voice guided turn-by-turn navigation. All right, let's try a little gaming on both, and we're going to run. First up, we've got the HTC Rezound. Ooh, wiped out. Dang, man, I was in front too. Alright, there's a lap on the HTC Rezound. Let's take a look at the Galaxy S2. Next up, we're going to run speedtest.net on both. Again, we've got AT&T on one side on the Galaxy S2 and Verizon on the other. And I'm in LA where they have 4G, but there is no 4G connectivity in the area where I live. So I thought we'd take a look at what you can expect running on their 3G versus AT&T's HSPA Plus, so-called 4G. Because I can imagine some people wanting to buy the Rezound even though they don't live in the Verizon 4G LTE area. So we've got basically 3 times the speed on the download, and we'll run one more. We got 2 bars of signal on both. So we're getting about 1 megabit out of 3G, which is considerably better than what we got from the Motorola Razr. It was about half that, and we're getting about 2.5, which is about half of what we got the other day. They say it doesn't make any difference when it's cloudy, but I don't believe them. So just out of the 2 we ran, the AT&T 4G HSPA Plus is providing about 2 or 3 to 1 as far as download speed versus the Verizon's 3G.